Hello guys and welcome to Odds on Bundesliga. We have new match day, 31st this time. So, hi Radek, time to analyze every single game.
Hey Eduardo, looking forward to another live show. Be sure to let us know your comments and your tips and picks about the following Bundesliga games.
Exactly. Make your comment in the video. Ask any question. Also, you will have the chance to win. As always, £10 free bet with Novibet. And you can support us if you click on the like video. Subscribe, of course, to our channel. And click on the bell to get all the notifications. Now that we are going to do a lot of live videos with you, Radek. We've been doing this already for a while, and we enjoyed last match day in the middle of the week. Unfortunately, Schalke is already a club in Bundesliga 2. No surprise for that. Going down like Hamburg did, but maybe they bounced back. And Bayern Munich.
Hamburg did not.
The Jet, yeah. Jet. And Bayern Munich, they are touching the title with the fingertips. But let's go game by game, and let's start with the game we have on Friday, Augsburg, Cologne, and I'm sure this is a difficult one from the betting point because Cologne is favorite. The odds are lower because they beat Leipzig, something that no one expected in the middle of the week, but they are still in the relegation zone, and Augsburg is a team that is going down and down. They lost 2-0 against Eintracht Frankfurt. This can happen, but before they weren't able to beat weak teams like Schalke or Bielefeld. Probably that's why, Radek, the odds are lower for Augsburg.
Yes, but the only positive thing about Augsburg is that they are good at home and bad away. So at home they didn't lose within the last 4 games. So they draw against Bielefeld and draw against Leverkusen. And they even won at home 3-0 against Gladbach and 2-1 against Hoffenheim. 2 different phases, 2 different types for Augsburg. I would say that's why they are kind of not the underdog, and they can at least make a point against Cologne, because on the other hand, Cologne won against Leipzig doesn't make them to the power favorite, and yeah, they are not, and they are not a bad team, as I always said, and that they beat Leipzig after drawing in the first game in the season against Leipzig proves that again that they are not a team that should be relegated, because they had a lot of bad luck, and it seems they still believe in their chance to hold the league. For Cologne, it's forbidden to lose this game, especially because of Augsburg was weak in some games. But because of Augsburg was strong at home against other teams, I would say this leads to a draw. And then we have a little bit of value betting on Asian handicap on Augsburg. Maybe Asian handicap 0 on Augsburg gives us odds of 2.06. This is a thing I can imagine, but you don't win a lot with draw no bet games. Or draw no bets on games where you expect a draw. And that's why, in my opinion, it's mostly better to bet on draws. You get odds of 3.4 on a draw here. And yeah, betting with 1/3 on of a unit, this would be a thing I like.
Okay, we have our possible draw. Here, and Cologne actually can get out of the direct relegation to Bundesliga 2. Remember that Hertha is not playing again this weekend. They will have 3 games in hand, and when they start playing again, they will be actually in the positions of going to Bundesliga 2. Moving on Saturday, where Hertha had to play against Schalke. Actually, that game is postponed. We start analyzing Frieburg, Hoffenheim. Also, a big surprise, Hoffenheim beating Gladbach, especially the way they did it. They were down 0-2 in the scoreboard at halftime, and they came back with Kramaric of course, scoring a brace. They were in a bad run, coming from 4 winless games. And Freiburg, a team that thrashed Schalke, nothing special about that, I would say. But this is a team that is strong at home as well. Radek, 4 victories in the last 6 home games.
Yes, and was a good appearance of Freiburg against Schalke. Nevertheless, that Schalke was weak. Freiburg scored 4 goals. That's impressive. Their captain Günther made 2 goals, almost a copy of the first goal, a shot from outside the box. And he's a key player for them and go-to guy who's always like a aggressive leader. And I like him and his style to play. And so like the whole Freiburg team, I'm a fan of them because they are doing the best out of always very small budget. On the other hand, you have Hoffenheim, where you expect them to be one of the top teams in the league, but they had a very average season. But in the last games they improved and didn't lose one of their last 3 games against really good opponents like Leverkusen, Leipzig, and now they beat even Gladbach. So this is a point that I would like to think that Hoffenheim should be a bit better in this game. And if we watch the odds, that Hoffenheim is kind of underdog, gets a really big odd at Freiburg, where I don't think that they will lose. And same thing, almost the same thing here, like in the Augsburg Cologne game. My favorite bet would be draw no bet on Hoffenheim. You get odds of 1.97, almost 2. But we have the difference that I think Hoffenheim is able to beat Freiburg more likely than Augsburg is likely to beat Cologne. So I think chances for Hoffenheim to win are about 50% or kind of that. So maybe we can even bet on a direct win of Hoffenheim because of their uptrend in the last games. But to be kind of insurance or safe if there is a draw in this game as well, I would bet on Asian handicap Hoffenheim 0, means draw no bet at 1.97.
All right, we have then the first 2 games. Then we have Mainz, Bayern Munich. Let's see how you find here the value. Odds for Bayern Munich to win 1.28, but be careful because Mainz is one of the best teams. We are saying this every week, but they are surprising us. They beat again Werder Bremen, back-to-back victories away after beating Cologne. Last 5 games, 4 victories, and now they are 5 points away from the playoff area after 6 unbeaten games. So thumbs up to Mainz that will stay in the Bundesliga 1 year more, whereas Bayern Munich, they did their homework. They beat Bayer Leverkusen 2-0, and Choupo-Moting is scoring. He's, we all missed Lewandowski, of course, but he's doing a great job. What do you think here? Maybe Asian handicap +1 on Mainz or something like this, plus 1.5?
Yeah, I thought Leverkusen is able to get into the Asian handicap against Bayern Munich, but they missed it with the second goal. But Mainz, we have a top game now because Mainz is so good in 2021. If you only consider the standing after game day 17, so the second leg in the season, Mainz is a top 5 team, and they're collecting points against the lower teams like Bremen and Cologne and Bielefeld, where they have to, and also they beat average teams like Hoffenheim and Freiburg, and now they are facing a Bayern Munich team at home with home advantage. And you saw what Bayern Munich is doing against so-called weak teams in the standings when they draw 1-1 against Union Berlin. So maybe they are not 100% into this game because of Bayern Munich has 10 points advantage. ahead of Leipzig. But on the other hand, they can be champion in this game. But what do you want? Do you want to be champion at Mainz, abroad or away? Or do you want to celebrate championship in your hometown, in your home stadium, no matter if there are audience or not? So maybe they are not 100% into winning this game and want to celebrate next week at home. Can be all factors that Bayern is not this big favorite, so we have to have a look at the Asian handicaps and maybe risk some money on Mainz keeping up the good shape and form. So we get Asian handicap +2 on Mainz with odds of 1.85. In a normal situation, I won't consider this against Bayern Munich because you see Bayern Munich is beating good teams like Leverkusen with 2 goals in advantage, and they beat Mainz in the first game of the season 5-2, 3 games before in advantage. So it's too risky to bet against Bayern Munich. But for sure, it's an option because for Bayern Munich, it's not for sure as important to point as for Mainz. 1 point for Mainz is not unusual, and so maybe they can keep it within 2 goals. Personally, I won't bet on this, but I think it's possible for Mainz to.
Official drama is telling us Bayern Munich to win and both teams to score. Another option that he is giving us. Then, well, Bayern Munich can be champion. I think the next game, actually, Union Berlin, Werder Bremen, 1.95. The odds for the victory of Union Berlin. I kind of fancy this. Union Berlin lost in the middle of the week against Borussia Dortmund 2-0 after beating Stuttgart 2-1. And the thing is that they are unbeaten at home since September, 14 home games unbeaten. And Werder Bremen, they are a really bad team right now.
I don't know if you're thing. Yeah. You were frozen, but now it's okay. I understand what you mean. Impressive season of Union Berlin. On the other side, Bremen is rotten. So a clear thing that Union Berlin has to win this game because of they are looking into the international spots. What would be an awesome result for them. And I think the odds of 1.95 are attractive enough to bet on a home win of Union Berlin. And Bremen has to pay attention that they are not again in trouble against relegation.
6 defeats in a row for Werder Bremen. They are really, really bad. So probably here is a clear bet. Union Berlin. Then we have the game of the games. Wolfsburg, Borussia Dortmund, 3rd against the 5th. And Dortmund beat Union Berlin. Wolfsburg beat Stuttgart, and they are only 5 points away. So this is a must win for Borussia Dortmund. So favorite here, 2.3 only for Dortmund. Very low odds, no?
Yeah, I would say if we don't know the odds, we have to guess. What do you expect? I think it's almost equal, maybe some little advantage for Wolfsburg even, because they now are good in the standings. But the one key factor could be, they're now safe in the international spots. They can't be worse than position 6. But anyway, that's not their goal. They want to be in the Champions League. So this is a very important game for them. And that's why I would say that Wolfsburg is not losing this game. And on the other hand, I cannot see them winning against this Borussia Dortmund at this point. And leads us to a clear draw between 2 good teams who don't want to lose, and if they draw, it's okay for both. if
Easy.
Dortmund is winning, it's a big win for them, and their stock price, because they are traded at the stock markets, would rise again, like it was after the last win, about 10% on one day. So maybe gambling on stocks on Borussia Dortmund if you think they are gonna win this game. But in my opinion, it's likely that it's a draw. And we also get the best odds for that with 4.05, which gives us the chance only betting 1/4 of a unit on it. And if we are losing that, no problem, because we risked less money. And if we win 1 unit with a really attractive bet here.
We were checking the stats, the head-to-head actually. Borussia Dortmund won 5 out of the last 6 games between these two teams, and 1-1 score line pays around 8.05 odds right now. So some options here. Vivica is asking you, what about goals in the Dortmund game? I know that you don't like to bet on goals, but seeing Welgors scoring again in the weekend, I mean in the middle of the week, Haaland is not scoring in this match day, but he did it in the past one. Probably we should expect a lot of goals, no, here.
Yeah, so if you expect a lot of goals, how would you think the odds are like? I would say over 2.5 goals. I would guess it's about 1.4 or 1.5, and that's nothing I want to bet on. I have a look. Okay, over 2.5 goals is 1.64. Bigger odds as I expected. Maybe you find a little bit of value there. But anyway, we have to consider that Wolfsburg has one of the best defense rows, and I think the first priority for them is not conceding goals against this brilliant attacking squad of Borussia Dortmund, where Jadon Sancho is back on track and should be motivated, and I think he wants to prove that he's still a good player, because it was not a good season for him. And so I think always bet on the higher odds, and that's why I think under 2.5 would be more value with 2.49. But anyway, everyone expect goals here, but I won't bet on it. So it's always first think, what is the risk, what is the danger, and if you're not 100% confident about that, leave your hands off. And I think the best bet for sure is the draw, because we get huge odds and less risk, because it's highly, in my opinion, the normal thing that both teams have a draw here. And we didn't see one single draw on the last game day, so now they have to come again.
So this is Wolfsburg Dortmund, 3rd against the 5th, and then we have Bayern Leverkusen, Eintracht Frankfurt, 6th against the 4th. And Frankfurt, they were able to beat Augsburg. Andre Silva scoring again. They are in very good form. We know that, 4 victories in the last 5 Bundesliga games, although their last game away from home was a 4-0 defeat against Gladbach. And Leverkusen losing again against Bayern. This is no surprise, Radek, but the thing is that they were not doing great. They were improved a little bit, but they beat weak teams like Cologne or Schalke. And they are so favorite for this game with Frankfurt, so probably also the value is back in the away team. No, I'm very surprised to see odds that low for Leverkusen. 3.9. Team now.
Yeah, that's a kind of a fault. But on the other hand, if there would be balanced odds, I would say the value is on Leverkusen, because of their playing at home, and Frankfurt was not that good in their away game. And on the other hand, beating a weak team like Augsburg at home is no big surprise. And for Leverkusen, only losing 2-0 against Bayern Munich is no shame. So we can say Leverkusen is still showing a upside trend, because games against Bayern Munich you have to put away and not consider in your calculation. And that's why after this last two games, I don't trust Frankfurt too much, because their coach is still leaving, their manager is leaving. So it's all about leaving the team alone, and the team has to win the games kind of alone. And I don't think that this is the best situation in games against teams like Leverkusen, who have still good chances to get to the international spots. And Champions League, I think it's almost impossible for them with 9 points behind Frankfurt. But mathematically still possible if they win. So it would be only 6 points to Eintracht Frankfurt. So the game is more important for Leverkusen as for Frankfurt. And all in all, again, the same thing. Everything leads to a draw, 3.96. Awesome odds for a draw with 1/4 of a unit. You always have to win only every third draw you bet on, and you make profit. And that's more you can than you can expect on betting on favorite bets like on Leipzig, as we saw last week. And that's why every time we have huge odds on draw in games where you don't know who's the better team and who's the favorite, I would say this is the best thing.
Okay, then on Sunday we have two games, Leipzig, Stuttgart. Here Schuban is telling us Leipzig is making us poor because they are losing games that we don't expect. They did it also at Cologne, 2-1. They lost after the draw against Hoffenheim. And Stuttgart, well, they made an amazing season, and probably the season is over also for them. They lost with Wolfsburg, 1-3, 3 straight defeats, but again against good teams. Would you trust Leipzig here, or stay away maybe from this game?
Nothing changed for Leipzig, as I often said. They can lack motivation, so they have not the chance being champion. They are safe at spot number 2. And on the other hand, Stuttgart was not too dangerous in the last games. And at home, Leipzig should be better than in the away games. I think they are one of the best teams at home, or even the third best team. Only lost twice at home, and one was against Bayern Munich, I think, in this important game. So for sure, I would expect a close win for Leipzig, but if the odds are so small, I won't bet on this. On the other hand, no matter what the Asian handicap on Stuttgart is, I won't bet on them either. So because I think it would be a surprise if Stuttgart wins this game, and my strategy is not betting on surprises. I like to bet on the normal situation.
Leipzig, they have the Cup semifinals next week, and we have Vivica telling us that at some point Leipzig will win. Maybe it's this weekend. And Tevin is telling us Leipzig plus under 4.5 goals. Probably also this bet is not paying a lot, actually.
Yeah, it's a kind of pure speculation. Depends on how much money you get. If there's under 4.5 goals, I think the odds for that are pretty small again. And the chances, how much will you win, are not really attractive in this situation, and that's why I don't like small odds. They're not getting better if you combine a lot of small odds, because at the end it depends on how much value you find in the odds. And if you only bet on small odds and you only lose one bet with small odds, you have to win 3 other bets to keep up with the loss, and that's too risky, and it's always running behind your losses, and that's no really profit strategy.
Schuban is not playing with this Leipzig. I completely understand. Let's see if Schuban likes to play with Gladbach facing Bielefeld. At home, Gladbach, they were in a trend going up, but they lost in the middle of the week. We just said it against Hoffenheim, even if they were leading 0-2. But their last game at home was a smashing victory 4-0 against Frankfurt, whereas Bielefeld, little by little, Radek, they are getting results. They beat Schalke, and now they are 4 points away from the playoff. Last 4 games, 2 victories and 2 draws, a team that is not conceding. Actually, in the last 7 games, all less than 2.5 goals.
Yeah, that's amazing. I didn't expect that they are really going up again in the standings after changing their coach to Frank Kramer. And obviously he did a great job and is doing the most possible thing out of the small budget of Bielefeld, who has the smallest budget in the whole league. And I think, they really have good chances to stay in the league, but it's still dangerous because behind them there's Cologne, which I consider stronger than Bielefeld, and Hertha is behind them, who has an advantage in my eyes, playing all games after everyone is finished with the season, because the other teams are not that motivated in these games, maybe against Hertha, and so Hertha can watch what are they doing and coming from behind, and they know exactly how much points they will need to be not relegated. So I think this is an advantage for Hertha in this situation. For Bielefeld, it's a really hard game. And because R3D asked which smaller team can beat a stronger club. In this case, we have this situation because you saw Gladbach struggling against Hoffenheim after leading a game which they are not allowed to lose. But they won against Frankfurt impressively at home, and I think again at home they are the clear favorite against Bielefeld. The odds are okay in my eyes, still too dangerous to bet on, because Bielefeld is not that bad. On the other hand, they really have kind of no offense and no striker quality. They scored only 23 goals, and that is not good enough for the first league. And on the other hand, we have Gladbach scoring 54 goals and at least 2 goals against Bielefeld, I think. I can't find really value in this game because Gladbach odds are realistic, Bielefeld odds are realistic, and at the end, Bielefeld's top scorer only has 4 goals. I think this is said enough about Bielefeld. So they are doing the most of their capabilities, but we have to be realistic, and that's why I think Gladbach is winning. And I won't bet on Gladbach, so forget it.
The line is in Asian handicap -1 for Gladbach, odds 1.98. That we usually look for this around 2.0 odds. Then Radek, someone was expecting, someone and probably more people expecting your ACCA with a double, with a treble, always putting together some draws. So let's see what you have for us in this weekend.
Yeah, first of all, the best bets are on this game day, again, as always, are draws. In my opinion, we can bet on draws between Wolfsburg and Dortmund and Leverkusen and Frankfurt. Maybe combining them, you get odds of 16, and you have to win every 15th bet like this to make profit. And in the long run, that's a good thing. That's why I like combining two high odds in draws. If you are asking me for the most realistic thing, I would say Union Berlin is not losing against Werder Bremen, and we would get about 1.4 on Union Berlin in this game with draw no bet around that. So this is one thing I would combine. On the other hand, I see Gladbach a bit better than Bielefeld, but a winning bet on Gladbach is another thing as draw no bet or even double chance. So you don't get good odds on Gladbach double chance, but maybe if you really like to combine 3 bets, consider Gladbach double chance or Gladbach Asian handicap 0. And the third one on my I don't know what you call it, is that I think Dortmund is not going to lose against Wolfsburg, but they're also not winning. But Asian handicap 0 on Dortmund or even Asian double chance on Dortmund can be the third one.
All
and
right.
There are never sure bets in the Bundesliga and in any kind of situation. But if there would be any sure bet, I would put all my money on it because you don't get better chances. But always think about that. There are so many surprises, and that is the most beautiful thing in soccer, that also small teams are able to beat the millionaire squads.
But if you are looking for short bets, as we are saying here, we have a tool for you, and you can check the Bundesliga in football, in ice hockey, in bowls, any sport. We have a tool, and you can check all the sure bets available for everyone. Then, Radek, thank you for analyzing with us 1 week more the Bundesliga. We have more the following week. And thank you, everybody, for commenting. You can still do it and have the chance to win £10 free bet with Novibet. And, of course, click on the like button, subscribe to our channel, and click on the bell to get all the notifications. And if you prefer to listen these videos in a podcast, you also can do it while you go to the gym, for instance. See you, and check again the Bundesliga next week. Bye.